Congratulations on this brand new single. We've been playing it on our show now for about a week and it's been getting amazing feedback, so congratulations.
Oh, beautiful. No, thank you. Cheers. Yeah, it's I mean, as you know, debut single, and I'm really, it's fantastic the response it's been getting. We've been receiving a lot of support for it. So, yeah, I'd like to say thank you to everyone who has been listening, for sure. Yeah, cheers. And thanks for playing it.
No problem. So what I guess the first question is, how did Eastpoint come together in the first place? How did you and Rowan first meet?
Well, we were previously in a band called Rambutan Jam Band. We were a group up in Darwin, and we decided to move on from that one and make this new project. We've known each other for years now, and we've done, we've gigged together quite a bit in different projects, but mainly in the Rambutan band. But this is, a new endeavour that we're both pretty excited, to keep going. It's launched now, and we've got lots of really great ideas, and hopefully they can all come to fruition.
Awesome. So you're not joining us from Australia today. Whereabouts are you right now?
I am in northern British Columbia in Canada. I'm over here to visit family, and I'm at my grandparents' place, which is right on a lake called Lake Else Lake, and it's beautiful. I mean, it's a rainy day today, but on the weekend we had some cracking weather, and being hanging out with the cousins, with the aunties and uncles, and life is good over here.
And you've been doing a little bit of travelling recently as well, because you've been in Jamaica, I believe, as well, working on a project. What's that been like with everything open back up now and being able to travel and work on projects overseas?
Yeah, well, it's all possible now, hey?
Yeah,
it's really exciting. Jamaica's in about a week and a half. I'm about to head over there. I'm just doing the last minute sort of negotiations with musicians and whatnot. So it's all, I'm feeling very excited about that. And I mean, the only reason I could kind of afford to get over there was ironically, because of the pandemic. I mean, I don't think I'd ever be able to get over there if it didn't hit. So, I mean, it was pretty shocking with all the lockdowns and the industry being decimated. But yeah, there was a bit of a silver lining for myself personally. I was able to save up a bit of money, and at the start of the year, I just took a step back from everything and thought about what have I always wanted to do, and that's been number one for me, and that's recording in Jamaica.
Awesome. Well, like I said, we've been playing Let Go on our show, and it's been getting amazing feedback. So bringing it back to Eastpoint, tell us a little bit about Let Go. What inspired the track? Because I believe it was actually written about the floods that was in New South Wales and Queensland.
Yeah, absolutely. So the first part of it was written as a more personal. I was going through some stuff that I needed to let go when I first started writing it. But I was in Lismore, which is where my mum lives. I arrived back from Lismore from Darwin, and a week from being back, the floods hit. So, this song that had this personal trajectory, suddenly, my life, just like everyone else in Lismore, was just consumed by the flood. Fortunately for me, my mum and I live on a hill, but it wasn't so fortunate for other people. And it was, when you're out, you go out to help clean up, and you'd see some pretty confronting trauma around you. And so, it just made a lot of sense to pivot the song, I guess, from more of a personal kind of a personal angle to a more of a community resilience angle.
Yeah. And when your heart's in a project like that, did you find it a much easier track to write?
Absolutely. from, just everything I was going through at that time in my life, and then going through, well, not necessarily going through, but witnessing what people were going through. It just kind of all made sense in a weird sort of way. And it was just, a real honor to help out such an amazing community. Like, I really respect the community of Lismore. It's so diverse, it's so eclectic, and it all kind of just came together on this one. Like, working with Rowan, he's been a really good friend and a really good professional colleague for a while now. So, and we both learned a lot. Like, I'm 27 now. He's, I think, 26, and we've been doing the music thing for a while now. So we know what we're doing. Touch wood, in a sense. But we've got our production skills together, and we've written a fair few songs. So I feel like, it feels like a good time to do this, and it feels really promising going forward.
Definitely. Now, you and Rowan got together in April this year to work on the album up in Darwin. Tell us a little bit about that recording session. What was that like, working on the album together?
It was fantastic, because Rowan has his own studio at the back of his house in a shed. So it wasn't the typical studio experience where you're paying an arm and a leg to go in there and everything's already written and down to the to the second, to the beat, to the bar. So we just kind of went in there and produced the songs on the go, which was a really cool kind of experience. And I haven't been able to do that much, because any studio I've been, it's been, time is money. So, we're able to get into his studio that he knows very well, and he's a drummer. So he's really on top of his drum tones and where the kit sounds good. And I flew up with a bunch of microphones that I've been saved up and bought over since COVID, pretty much. And we just kind of joined forces and did the best we could. And I think it turned out pretty well. And I think because it was such a nice, pleasant experience, you can hear that in the music. It wasn't, I've been on quite a few projects where it's very rushed and, you're running out of money and then you've got to cut corners and you've got to do this and that to make it work. But this wasn't like that. So it was a nice experience, and I think you can hear it in the music as well.
So I guess the big question a lot of our listeners are going to be asking at the moment is, when can we expect the album to be released?
Yeah, well, the album, I'm not sure, but we've made a promise to release one song per month. Awesome. So I can't give you a date on the album, but we've got about 15, 16 songs in the bank, or more, over 20 songs in the bank. Between us, we haven't released anything over COVID, so yeah, we want to stay true to that one song per month promise. And if anyone's keen to hear more of it, we're on Instagram as Eastpoint __ official, and on Facebook we're Eastpoint Music. So lots of music planned.
Awesome. So for all our listeners out there, make sure you add Eastpoint on both Instagram and Facebook. I guess what the next question is, when you get back to Australia, what are you guys going to do? Are you going to look to perhaps do a tour this year, or what are the plans for the rest of the year?
Absolutely. So I think a tour is on the cards. I'm going to float that idea to our good friend and manager, Berkey, over at LAB Music Management. But definitely recording more songs. Like, I've made it a goal to write 4 songs while I'm traveling. It's been kind of hard to keep up because there's so much stuff going on, but I'm on track. So I believe, when I get back, it'll be a couple songs on the coast with another band that I'm in called King River Rising. We were based in Melbourne for a while. Most of the boys are in Melbourne. But yeah, I'll definitely try and tour the East Coast for sure with Eastpoint.
Awesome. Well,
Rowan's down, and I'm sure he is.
Awesome. Well, we are going to play Let Go again on our show right now. So what would you like to say to all of our listeners out there before they take another listen to this amazing track?
Thank you very much for listening. I really appreciate it. What you're hearing is inspired by an incredibly resilient community. And I just like to mention as well, all proceeds from this song will be going to a grassroots charity called Resilient Lismore for the next 5 years. So, if you buy the song online, and I won't do it'll be before profits. So any money made from it since it was released will be going to that grassroots charity. So if you can, buy it online, it'll all go towards that charity. And yeah, at the very least, thank you so much for listening.